We watched my opponent 2 weeks ago come clean. He came clean. He told everybody what's really in his heart. That parents don't have a role in their kids' education in their schools. I mean, he said that to everybody, and he is so fundamentally wrong. I mean, by the way, Virginia has a law, and the law says that parents have a fundamental right to be engaged in their kids' life education. This is what we have. And then my opponent turns around and he calls his friend Joe Biden, and he says, you know, Joe, I got problems here. And what does Joe Biden do? He sends the FBI in to try to silence parents. This is where we are. Friends, this is about who has the best judgment, who has the right over your child's education. Terry McAuliffe thinks it's government should be between you and your child, and I believe it's parents. And it's just that simple. It's that simple. That's just simple. So as we head into this election, I just want you to know that the distinction between my opponent and me couldn't be more clear. Couldn't be more clear. On day one, I know what we're going to go do. So I have a 30-year business career. And when I stepped out of my job last summer because I felt that Virginia was heading so far the wrong direction, I mean, we were becoming California East, and we're not California East, we're Virginia. That's right. And we're gonna absolutely march Virginia forward together. But when I stepped out of my job, what I felt such a compelling need to come work for all Virginians, because we know we can do so much better. We know we can. And I've watched Virginians come together around our very, very clear day one agenda. We're going to cut the cost in Virginia for living. It's too expensive to live here, so on day one, we're going to reduce taxes for all Virginians. We're going to eliminate the grocery tax. We're going to double our standard deduction. We're going to suspend the gas tax increase for a year. You can keep more of that money in your pocket. We're going to declare the largest tax rebate in Virginia history, $600 for those filing jointly and $300 for those filing independently. It's going to be worth $1,400, almost $1,500 for a family of four in year one. In year one, my opponent, he's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of policy. It was scored to cost $16 billion. It's going to cost Virginia families $5,400 each. Friends, it's your money, not Terry McAuliffe's money. And I want you to keep more of your money. Now, over the course of the last year, Richmond's overtaxed Virginians to the tune of $2.6 billion. So there is plenty of money in the system to declare tax rebates and to cut taxes and still fund investment on a go-forward basis, which we must do. So on day one, we're going to invest in our schools. We're going to invest in law enforcement. We're going to invest in our job machine. And we are going to have the best schools, the best jobs, and the safest communities. Our schools need a lot of work, friends. We all know it. We all know it. We've watched the standards in our schools, the expectations of our schools be watered down to the point today where Virginia schools are ranked 50th in the nation in standards to progress in reading and math. George Bush called this the soft bigotry of low expectations. And guess what? It's showing up in our test results. This past spring, the test results came out. What we saw was 55% of white children in Virginia couldn't pass an 8th grade math equivalency test. 70% of Latino children and over 80% of black children. The gap is wholly unacceptable. The magnitude of these numbers is shocking. The schools are failing our children. So we got to go to work on day one. We're going to raise expectations in our schools because when we expect great things, we'll get great things. I'll preside over the largest education budget in the history of Virginia. And we're going to invest in teacher salaries and facilities in our special education programs because we must. We must. We're going to press forward with the most aggressive charter school program in the history of Virginia within our public school system so that we will have a choice within our public school system because oftentimes parents will make a choice. I want my child to go to a different school and we're going to enable that. We're going to have innovation charter schools. We're going to partner. We're We're going to partner with local universities. That's why I was at Norfolk State today to talk about curriculum development. We're going to partner with businesses around what skill sets do our children need to either be college ready or career ready. And we're going to have a real go at curriculum to make sure that our kids are prepared. But we also know we need to get politics out of the classroom. And so we're going to teach our children how to think, not what to think. How to think.